Good morning, Storm fans. I'm Bryant Cook, and well, I'll be honest, I'm tired again. Last week, I only got 3 hours of sleep and I played the Pauper PTQ. This week, I stayed up till 3 a.m. getting the last qualification point QP I needed to play in the Pauper Showcase today. So I had about 6 hours of sleep, double what I had last week. So maybe I'll play a little bit better. But we're back. We're playing Cycle Storm, and I'm just excited to be here. This is by far my favorite Pauper deck, and it's so good. I honestly love playing this deck. I got Alex McKinley into it, and now he's hooked. This deck is just amazing. So I did make a couple small changes since my last video. I cut the sideboard repository scab. I don't actually know if I remember if I recorded with that or not, but I was trying a sideboard repository scab for those black decks as a card to board in. That way you can get back your Reaping the Graves or your Songs of the Damned, but I found that I never actually wanted or needed the sideboard scab, and I was just better off without it. So I began to wonder, well, what can I fix? And the decks I've been losing to are like the mono red prowess decks, and then like the nut draws out of Affinity. So how do you stop those? Well, I came up with the conclusion of Hydroblast. So if you take away Atog, I think that Affinity is actually not that good of a deck, and this just does that. So if they tap out turn 2 for Atog, you remove it, you move on with your life. So I think Hydroblast is worthwhile. It's obviously you can kill a Kiln Fiend with it if they try to Alpha Strike you. It seems worthwhile to me. I'm going to try it out. So you might be watching this and going like, yeah, Brian, but it's also for burn. I'm not sure if it is. The reason why is you have these Gnaw to the Bones, so that way you're boarding in 5 cards against burn. You're boarding in Hydroblast, Gnaw, and Forest. It's tough making that much room for non-creatures in the deck. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not convinced that it's correct. I'll figure it out once I board today. I haven't had that come up yet, so we'll see how it goes. Another change from the last video is we are trying Spore Frog over Darkness. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be pretty happy about this because Darkness is like a $15 card and Spore Frog is 25 cents. I don't really care about that. I just like playing the best deck list possible, and I think Spore Frog could end up being better than Darkness. So if you're feeling a little froggy, it might be for you. The reason why we're trying out Spore Frog is not because we have a green source in our deck. That is not it. It's because it's a creature. And because it's a creature, it works with Reaping the Graves and Songs of the Damned. So you don't have to worry as much about creature count, and that's fairly ideal to me. So Spore Frog makes a little bit of sense there. We're just trying it, seeing how it goes. Yeah, I did end up cutting the second copy of Shredded Sails from the board. I was trying it because those like mid-range Wildfire decks tend to play 1 to 2 Relic in the sideboard, but I think those decks are pretty favorable matchups anyway, and we can probably get by with just the 1 copy of Shredded Sails. Those are the changes, but I keep on getting this question on video, so I'm just going to answer it. Why am I playing Repository Scab? It's come up on a bunch of videos recently, and well, why is it better than Archaeomancer? It's not because it's a 3/3. It's because you can sacrifice a Repository Scab to itself with the exploitability to return Songs of the Damned or Reaping the Graves. So that means that it goes to the graveyard, so then Songs of the Damned counts it as a creature, and then you can return it with Reaping the Graves to keep on playing it over and over and over again. That's why it's good. That's not like if we just wanted that effect, we would have played Archaeomancer ages ago. But because it sacrifices to itself, it's quite amazing. That's why we're running Repository Scab. And it just eliminates a lot of the stuff where you run out of Songs of the Damned or you run out of Reaping the Graves, that sort of thing. You don't have to worry about it as much. And honestly, I've had some opponents play Weather the Storm against me, go up to 80, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Repository Scab makes so much mana that it's not going to matter, and I've won the game, even though they're at a very high life total. So Repository Scab does a lot of great things for this deck. If you haven't tried it, I would seriously recommend doing so. But yeah, I should talk a little bit about promotions we're doing, right? So if you haven't seen, I am giving away a Lotus Combo Pioneer Challenger deck to one lucky member of this channel on December 23rd. I just wanted to show a little bit of a holiday appreciation. So if you're a member or thinking about becoming a member, do it. So there's other member perks this month. If you're any member tier, you get access to all videos and deck lists early. So it's just another way of saying thank you for hitting my annual goal. I do appreciate all of you for becoming subscribers and members this year. Just wanted to do that for you. We're also doing 15% off the shop, so theepicstorm.com/shop, and we're doing 15% off with code Stormy Holidays. Stormy Holidays. So definitely go check that out. But if you want to support us in any other manner, you can like, comment, or subscribe. Those things are free to do, and they're super easy. They do help support us. You get to watch more Great Storm content. We get that little bit of YouTube algorithm boost. What's not to love? So definitely go do those things. We also have the epicstorm.com/donation decks for you to submit your combo deck to be featured here on this very YouTube channel. We have the epicstorm.com/shop for card singles, but also all of that sweet, sweet Storm swag, including our brand new mini token pack for keeping track of your mana in Storm. That is my introduction. I hope you enjoyed it. I still have to sign up for this event, and it starts in 4 minutes, so I'm going to go do that, but I will see you in match number 1. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play. Alright, Pauper Showcase time. And this hand is pretty good. We're going to try this. Okay, let's just go get our basic island and pass the turn. Island. Okay, turn 2 we're going to double cycle. I'm not really sure what our opponent's playing. Likely Affinity. Draw. Other Reaping isn't the worst. We do need more creatures and more rituals, though. Okay, so no turn 2 Atog here. I like that. Okay, let's cycle the Vantasaur. Draw. And the draw is Architects. Let's cycle the Architects. Alright. I imagine our opponent's pause right there was setting up the auto yield. Alright, so Blood Celebrant, that's not bad. Let's cycle the Stinger. Okay, we did not hit another cycler. We're just going to play the Celebrant and pass. Okay, we have 3 creatures in the graveyard. If I draw a land, I'm going to cast Ploy. The second Teachings was kind of a bad draw. It is what it is, but I didn't want that. Okay, what is this? Atog, okay. And Chrome Star. Well, we do have a blocker for Atog right now. It's a land, but it doesn't cast this Ploy. That was rough. I think we're supposed to cycle. Okay, cycle. Pass the turn. 6 cards in graveyard. So I'm 1 mana short of casting Cabal Ritual with Threshold. Okay. Deadly Dispute, sure. The interaction with Chromatic Star essentially is like Ancestral Recall. They just get the draw. I'm not going to block here. If they want to sack their board, they can sack their board. Okay, and then they get blasted, sure. Draw. So now I do have Threshold. Is it go time? I don't know. Well, the Dark Ritual is a pretty good draw, so let's just see what we can do here. Cycle the Vantasaur. Because we can Teachings for songs. Cycle. Okay, and now I have to Teachings for songs. I don't really have a choice here. 7 mana. Let's pop that back in. Okay, cast songs. I'm going to cycle the Stinger. See if I can hit another spell here. Okay, so that means I can go get another songs. Makes a little bit of mana, which is worthwhile to me. Okay, cast songs again. And now we're Reaping the Graves. Get back to the Blood Celebrant first. We have 7 mana. No Street Wraiths in here, unfortunately. I think it's everyone that's coming home here. Alright, so we have 2 Songs of the Damned in the deck. Not super likely to cycle into them, but that's what we're hoping for. So the Scab is like nice, but it doesn't actually, by the time that we could cast it, all the creatures would be in our hand. So we need to draw more mana for this to be an effective card. Cycle. Another Reaping the Graves. Cycle. There we go. Cycle. Another Reaping the Graves, okay. Cycle. Our opponent is not hitting the F6 button, so I'm guessing that they probably have a blast in hand. I'm gonna let that go. Cycle this Drannith Healer. Cycle the Horror. And then I'm gonna cast Songs before the Celebrant comes back. That way I get an extra mana out of this interaction. Play the Celebrant. I have 1 Songs left in the deck. Kind of risky whether or not to play the Scab here. Alternatively, I could just Teachings for the Songs. And then try to win the game. Tough choice. 9 creatures. So it only makes 2 mana, so I don't know if that's worth it. If the Scab lives, I definitely win the game, but I feel like it's going to get blasted. There's a reason they haven't been hitting the F6 key. Tough call. I'm gonna cycle the Baron more. Cycle Stinger. Cycle Horror. So this means that the last songs in the deck that I can get with Teachings would make more mana. I can still play the Ash Barons, which is why I was okay cycling there. At our first Street Wraith of the game. Okay, and now I'm pressured into casting Teachings for the last songs. They chose not to kill the Blood Celebrant there. Should I just risk the Scab? I feel like I should. Alright. Ooh. Resolved. Risk, meet, reward. Okay. Oh, I should have cycled. I'm a dummy. It's fine. It's not gonna end up mattering. I got so excited about songs resolving that I just misplayed a little. Or, well, I should say the Scab's ability resolving, not the... But you know what I meant. Okay, so now we're clicking on all of our dead friends. We're going to return them. Okay. Coming back. Alright, now we're going to add some red mana with our Blood Celebrant. Okay. Add another red. Play another Stinger. Oh, they had the blast and chose not to kill the, or they're just trying to bluff me, I guess? I don't know. Play another one. Ooh, I'm sorry, friend. You could have used that more effectively. Okay, so let's cycle the Stinger, or the Horror, and deal them damage with Stinger. Words are tough. Bear with me. Alright, so cycle the Horror. Cycle Dino. So yield to that. Lotus Petal. Hello. Cycle another Dino. Cabal Ritual. Welcome. Cycle another Dinosaur. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Let's cycle an Architect of Will. Okay, we're at 8. We have 4 more cycles to go. Cycle another Architects of Will. Looks like we're going to get game number 1 over Affinity here. Our opponent had a window to use that Gas Blast effectively and missed it, and we're getting rewarded. Okay, so that is game number 1. And now we are trying the plan of Hydroblast instead of Gnaw to the Bone. The last week or so, and you probably saw it in my last video that went live 2 days ago at this point, I was boarding in these against Affinity. Well, today I am trying the Hydroblast instead. They also protect from Gav Blast on our Scab, so I think it's probably worth trying. And we're going to shave a few Architects and submit this. A friendly reminder, if you want to see the latest and greatest Storm content, open up that description down below. In there you will find 7 social media networks. They're all great. Definitely join them, but I would personally recommend the Discord. Game 2 on the draw, no lands equals no keeps. This seems fine. I think we just bottom the ploy. Alright, it's party time. Darkseal Citadel and 2 Chrome Star. Sure. Draw. Another Cabal. I'm just going to be lazy and cycle this in my case. Okay. Double Street Wraith. I don't mind that. We want to find a Reaping the Graves now. Interesting. Okay. I thought that they might have been light on lands, because it looked like they were about to activate that. Alright, we need another cycler into Reaping. Okay. Cycle. Tab. Alright, so we just have to find a Reaping the Graves now and we're ready to go. Adding black mana for Duress. Yep. Duress doesn't matter that much here. They took the pedal to shut us off Scab, which kind of makes sense. Vicar Wellspring. Okay. Draw. Alright, well, we drew our blue source, but I do need to draw Reaping the Graves. Okay, Thought Cast, that happens. Great Furnace. Okay. Pickles. Cycle no more. Alright. Need to find something good. Dark Ritual was not it. But we are 25% of the way through our deck now. Actually, a little bit over. So we have 6 action spells. We just have to draw one of them. Our opponent's just passing. They're playing the hard controller out here. Okay. So 42 cards in deck. They must be color screwed. They might need black mana for like a Deadly Dispute or something. Yeah, they're color screwed. Okay, let's cycle the Stinger. This is going to bring us down to 33% of the way through our deck. Okay, come on, please. Give me something good. Might as well go pull the last swamp out. Okay, play it. 38 cards now. We just have to draw an action spell. We have 6 of them. Getting hit by Gav Blast? Sure. They drew Atog. That's good. Draw. Come on, deck, please. Please. Celebrant. I think this is a little bit of a crazy line. I'm going to play Scab as a blocker. Alright, so now I have 2 blockers for Atog. And I just need to draw into an action spell. Okay. Vicar Wellspring is a pretty free card for them to sacrifice. They might have wanted to consider sacrificing that last turn. So if they hit their black source, they could cast one of the black spells in their hand, but they chose not to. Might just be dead to Fling here. Yeah, I am dead to Fling if they have it. Block with Scab. Okay. There's Fling mana. Yep. Bummer. I just never drew anything this game. Our next draw will be it, though. Let's find it. Draw. Okay, Vantasaur. 4. Ash Baron. So we would have fizzled if I decided to go for it. We had nothing coming. Alright, sometimes that happens. I think we just run it back. Okay, on the play. This seems fine. We'll try this. It is duress proof. I do enjoy that. Let's just go get a basic swamp. Pass the turn. Bridge. Alright, I'm gonna just play this swamp and pass. So our hand is still duress proof. They just played a black source, so I want them to waste the duress on nothing instead of cycling right now, and then possibly giving them something to discard. Okay. Wooch, wooch! Rewarded. All creatures. Alright, so let's cycle a few of these right now. Let's cycle the dino. Rewarded. Okay. Draw. Place one on pass. On their end step, we can cycle some more. Alright, they have 3 mana. That's an Atog. Okay. Let's cycle Stinger. 4. We just need a Reaping the Graves. Cycle Barrenmore. Come on, deck. 45 cards. Just cycle these 3 rates. We need to hit. A lot of creatures in bin. Come on, deck. 3 draws here. We have Threshold. Let's cast Cabal Ret. Cycle Horror. Cycle Dino. Cycle Horror. Come on. 40 cards. Cycle Horror. Maybe just cycle the Barrenmore. We're at 38 cards right now. Wow, I just missed on all of that. We just have to pass here and hope to live. We're at 16. I feel like my deck kind of failed me in back-to-back games here. I might be dead. That might kill me. Okay, so Atog gets in. I don't think I'm dead here. So this would be 3 damage if they sack the Volt Scourge. So 4 plus... Yeah, we're not dead here. So I get 1 draw step to hopefully hit. I'm going to pull the Swamp out of the deck. 6 cards that are good hits here. Draw. Thank you. Cast Songs. Cast Songs. Battle. So we get 6 cards here. We need to not return Street Wraiths because I don't want to get my life total too low to die to Fling. Because they can float mana, sack these Fling. So I don't want to die to that. So this is from 6. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to bring back any copies of Street Wraith. Also, these petals make me lose life, so I don't really want to use them. Unless I have to. And I have so much mana floating, I don't need to do the cycle trick here. I can just return them all. Yeah, but wonder if I should play a healer. Let's count here. So this is 3, 6, 9, 10 damage. One last draw. I think I'm just going to cycle. I don't want to risk not hitting. Alright, cycle. Cycle a dinosaur. Another songs, okay. Cycle dinosaur. Cycle dinosaur. Can I play this? I've already played my land. Alright, cycle healer. Come on, deck, please. There we go. Alright, cycle. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Songs. And this time I'm going to return everything. Cast the Reaping. Okay, so all of our friends are coming back. Not doing the cycle trick because I plan on playing a healer and then playing Stinger and then, you know, cycling quite a bit. 28 cards left in our deck. Get a white. And if they tried to, like, murder me in response, I could try to cycle towards the ploy. Okay, and now play the Stinger. Go time. What is this? Red Elemental Blast. I'm going to cycle in response, I think, because I do have those blue blasts in the deck. Auto yield. Cycle. Cycle again. Okay, cycle another horror. Cycle Dino. Wait, this is a blue blast. Wait, my blue blast doesn't counter their blue blast. That's irrelevant. We should just let that go. Sorry, wasn't thinking. I can play Blood Celebrant here. Let's cycle the Architect. 23 cards. Cycle Dino. Cycle Dino again. Cycle a healer. Okay. Reaping the Graves, welcome to the party. Okay, I'm gonna cycle Baron Moors. At some point I'm gonna have to turn off the auto yield so I don't deck myself. Alright, cycle. Keep cycling. Teachings. 15 cards left. 9 minutes on clock. Alright, cycle the healer. Let's auto yield to the Street Wraith. Cycle another Street Wraith. There's our blast. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. I'm going to attempt to play a Scab here. Like sacrifice, return, songs. I feel like mana is the biggest choke point here. Songs, and let's Reaping the Graves. Return all of our friends. 13 cards in deck. We know that 3 of them are Stingers. Okay. Phantasaur. And we know 2 of them are Street Wraith. I feel like I was a little bit unlucky in the beginning of this game, and then I started like getting fairly lucky mid-combo, which I'll take, for sure. Okay, everyone's home. Let's pay a life here and play Stinger. Cycle. Auto yield. Quit trying to kill my shit. I should quit swearing. I don't want to get demonetized. Hydroblast. Alright, cycle. 12 cards left. Okay, let's cycle again. And I drew another Stinger. Sweet. Okay, red. Let's cast Stinger. So now each cycle will deal 2 damage. Can we race our deck? Yes. We have 10 cards in deck. And they have less than 20 life. So that's how math works. And our opponent concedes. Alright, match number 1 over the format Menace Affinity. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fine to play, so Yeah, stick around. I'll see you in match number 2. Welcome to match number 2. We're on the draw. Let's keep this. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. Okay. Affinity again. Okay. Draw. That was a good one. Okay, so turn 2, we have the option of cycling Ash Barrens or just playing it for speed. And I think we probably just want to play it for speed in this matchup. Alright, let's take a draw. Pass the turn. On their end step, we'll cycle the Architect and probably the Healer. Okay, Thoughtcast, yep. Baker Wellspring, you got it. We'll draw off that. Okay, so let's move to their end step. And now that we're in their end step, let's cycle the Architect. Draw off that, and then cycle the Healer. I don't know if I'm going to play this Baron more or not. I feel like the answer is no. Well, let's see what happens. Draw. Let's cycle Healer. Cycle Stinger. Cycle Street Wraith. Alright, looks like I'm playing Baron more. Pass the turn. We have 5 creatures in graveyard right now. Okay, Great Furnace into another Thoughtcast. Okay. Opponent has 7 cards in hand. Mirror Enforcer. Alright, it's go time. I would like to draw another creature for turn, but let's see. Ah, that's a bummer. Alright, we're going to play that. So I'm in a weird spot here where I have to choose between holding onto the songs or casting it for Threshold. And I think I'm just going to cast it. Opponent's tapped out. They can't do anything here. So we have 5 draws for this Reaping the Graves. Not the most, but we're going to make do. Alright, I have to play another Cabal Ritual just for the Storm count, and now Reaping the Graves. Okay. 11 mana floating. Still sitting on 2 copies of Cabal Ritual as well. And we're going to select all of our creatures. Cycle Street Wraith. Okay. Cycle Stinger. That was a good one. That was very good. Cycle. Cycle again. Why not? Let's Dark Ritual. Cycle the Healer. And then this last Reaping the Graves will return Architect. Okay, we're just cycling horrors right now. Street Wraith. Okay, we're getting pretty deep into the deck. 35 cards left after this draw. Okay. Cycle the Architect. Lotus Petal. I think I'm actually going to cycle the Baron more, trying to hit more mana. That did not happen. My one concern here is that Repository Scab for Reaping the Graves is a line that costs a lot of mana. Okay. So I need to exploit the Scab. Sacrifice it. Return the Reaping the Graves. So I'll have 5 mana floating post Graves. I'm gonna return the Scab first and then target Street Wraiths. 1 Street Wraith, 2 Street Wraith, 3 Street Wraith, and then we can target the other creatures. Okay. Looks like we're able to get back everyone here. Alright, so I don't need to... like, when you have the top 3 all being Street Wraiths, you can just return them all. Okay, cycle. Cycle. Would really like another songs. Let's cycle it. We just need to cycle. 3 mana left. Floating at least. Now I'm 1 short of teachings. Ugh. I've played my land. Come on, deck, please. 27 cards. Cabal Ritual? And I've played all my Cabal Rituals. I might fizzle here. I've played all my Cabal Rituals. I've only played 1 songs, I believe. Yeah, there's 3 songs left in the deck. Cycle. Telling me. So we get 1 hit here for it to be Songs of the Damned. Draw. God damn it. Ah. Yeah, it's a heartbreak. Hurt is dead. Concede. Alright. Next card will be Songs. Nope, okay. Alright, Hydro Blast coming in. They got these Architects. Try this again. Worked last round. Okay, on the play for game number 2. Sure. Okay. We'll cycle on their end step. Furnace into Chromstarch. Alright, we drew Teachings. That is technically an action spell. Draw. I'm just going to be lazy and do this now. Cycle. Cycle. Pass the turn. 3 cards in graveyard at the moment. Prism, you got it. Draw. I'm going to start off on Cycling Stinger. I might actually play the Barrymore this turn, so that way next turn I could tap 4 lands and cast Teachings. Cycle Barrymore. So I guess I can go get the swamps. I don't need to do that anymore. Okay, now we have Threshold. Okay. 3 mana. Duress. I think the pick is probably Teachings, but I could be wrong. And they agree. Okay. Still 2 mana available for our opponent. Thoughtcast. It looks like they're passing the turn. Draw. Another Barrymore. I'm just going to pass here. On their end step, I can cycle Barrymore into Ploy. And this way, if they want to counter Ploy, they have to spend the mana on their turn. 4th mana. Another Thoughtcast. Okay. Mirror Enforcer. And while these are great furnaces, they represent Dispel or a bunch of other things with these Crumb Stars and Prisms. Cycle the Barrymore. Okay, and let's try a Ploy. I've been Pyroblasted. Okay. Draw. I'm just gonna do this the hard way. Play Scab. Sure. Pass the turn. I know that I could have played Barrymore there. I didn't want to. That wasn't a mistake. I just would rather have the ability to cycle. Another Enforcer. Deadly Dispute. Yep. Okay. They have 5 cards. Picker Wellspring. Okay. 2 mana available. 5 cards in hand. And they're passing. Let's cycle the Baron more. My fear is that if I try to go all in on teachings this turn, I could get pyroblasted. Cycle. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Dark Ritual. That might have been a mistake. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. That's a bummer. Because now I could have, if I just discarded, like theoretically, if I get pyroblasted here, I could have. Oh, never mind. I can still. That doesn't require blue. I'm a dummy. Ignore me. I was thinking that I needed blue, and that's not true. So now we get Reaping the Graves. Okay, play the Petal. I could play the Ploy for Storm, but I think mana is going to be a choke point this game, so I don't want to do that. Our opponent does have 2 red sources open, so I'm not going to return the Street Wraiths because I don't want to die to double Gav Blast. And that's for the same reason I'm not returning the Scab. Okay, well, I might as well return 1 Street Wraith, I guess. Cycle. Gonna have to get a little bit lucky in order to win here. Okay. Cycle. That was good. Cast it. Cycle. Another Hydroblast, okay. Cycle this Stinger. We want to find, we only have a few draws left. We really need to find Songs of the Damned plus Reaping the Graves. We have 3 songs left and 3 Reaping the Graves. There's one of the cards we need. Cycle the Vantasaur. Okay, come on, deck. I really do need Songs of the Damned here. Cycle Architects. Alright, let's return Stinger. Cycle Stinger. I can jumpstart the Ploy here. Cycle Stinger. Does Teachings do it? Dark Ritual, yeah, I can cast Teachings. I guess I'm playing into Pyroblast, though. Well, they didn't counter Pyroblast. They didn't Pyroblast the first Teachings this turn. So I guess if they decide to wait to this one, they got me. Okay. Play songs. We're going to go down to... Teachings again? It would make mana. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to. Okay. Every little bit of mana helps here. So now we're going to have 11 mana. I think we can return everyone. And I'm not going to return the Street Wraiths first, because I'm not going to be able to cycle them. Unless I want to die to double Gav Blast, and I'm not really in the market for that. Okay. I have 1 songs left in the deck, 24 cards. Excuse me. That Petal is good because the worst, if I decide that I'm not going to win this turn, I could always Ploy to gain a whole bunch of life. Cycle. That was good. From 15. Cycle Architects. Alright, so we're doing okay now. I just need to find the Blood Celebrant mostly. I think we're going to be able to get this. Cycle Stinger. Another Reaping. Cycle the Horror of the Broken Lands. Don't want to cycle that. Cycle this. Cycle the dino. Don't want to do that. Cycle the healer. We have 8 mana floating, 15 cards in deck. So there is a possibility we don't hit the songs. There it is. Alright. Ooh, don't want to cycle you. Okay. Maybe I should have cast the songs before all those returned. I don't know. Okay. How do I want to do this? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jumpstart Ploy here. Discard the Ash Baron, so that way I can gain a bunch of life and cycle these Street Wraiths. Discard the Baron more. 36. Okay. Looking for our Blood Celebrant. Cycle. Okay. There it is. Okay. Just keep cycling. Now we have 1 black floating. I will cast the songs. Make 14 mana. Play the Blood Celebrant. Let's cycle the Vantasaur. Go to 3 cards left in deck. Dark Ritual. Excuse me. Add a blue. And play the Scab. So if our opponent tries to Gap Blast it, we have double Hydro Blast. Sacrifice it. Return Songs of the Damned. Cast Songs. Reaping the Graves, return everyone. Alright, you just have to finish clicking. Okay, bringing everyone home. Okay, so we're just going to play 4 copies of Drannith Stinger. And then just cycle. It's going to be easy. Decking is not a problem here. Okay. Slowly resolving all these copies of Reaping the Graves. Alright. Play Stinger. Play Stinger. And another one. Excuse me. I feel like there's something caught in my throat. Countered. Okay. And now we just cycle. Just keep cycling. Alright, and the third horror. Only a few more cycles left here. And the fourth horror. Alright, we've taken game number 2 over Affinity. Going into game 3. I'm going to leave it as is. This hand's not bad. I think we just cycle the Ash Barons on turn 1 for a swamp. They kept 6? No, they kept 7. My bad. Teachings was an okay draw. Go get our swamp out of the deck. Okay. What is it? Ah, it's Atog. Damn. Okay, they have their best start. Let's see if we can cycle into a Hydroblast. Cycle. Nope. Alright, so next turn we can play the Celebrant as a theoretical blocker. That wasn't bad. 3 mana. Ooh. That's scary. I could just be dead next turn. Am I supposed to jam? Really? I don't think that's right. Come on, Dark Ritual. Draw. Dead to Fling. I think I need to try to cycle into something. 3 cards. So I could try to play Celebrant as a blocker, but I think it just ends up with me being dead. Because Gav Blast or Fling kill me because they can Gav Blast my blocker. Alright, so I think I'm supposed to cycle. Come on, Dark Ritual. Need a Dark right here. Not Dark Ritual, so now I have to burn songs. And cycle the Architects. That's card number 7. Cast the Cabal Ritual. Like, in theory, Celebrant teachings for songs, but it's only going to make, like, 5 mana. So we're just better off cycling here. Okay. Other Cabal Rit was good. Cycle. Other teaching. Okay. So let's add a blue. Cast the teachings. Go get songs. Cycle. Perfect. Let's cast songs. 7 cards. Question is, do I want to burn this teachings to make 2 mana? Because that's all we would get here. And we'd only have 1 songs left in the deck after that. I think I'm just going to return what I have. Alright. Street Wreath first. Return everything. Still have a land drop. Cycle Street Wreath. Cycle. Okay. Cycle. 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 Okay, well, at least I can kill Atog this turn. Cycle. I'm just going to return the rest. Okay, played the Ash Barrens. And let's cycle Healer. Alright, I'm at 13 now. Kill the Atog. Pass the turn. Okay. So we fizzled, but we got to stay alive. What is this? Deadly Dispute? Sacking the Ichor Wellspring? Another Atog. Damn. Okay. Blue mana for Thoughtcast? Chromosphere. Okay. Chromatic Star, technically. So I have 1 more Hydroblast in the deck. I would need, like, some pretty good draws to win this, I think. Alright, so I'm at 12. We've used 2 songs and 2 copies of Cabal Ritual. They're sacking the Chrome Star, okay. So I'm going to 11. I think they're looking for an untapped land here. They're passing draw. Let's cycle Healer. That was good. Cast Cabal Ritual. Okay. So I can go to 10. Cast Teachings. Go get songs. Cycle this, because I can cast the Songs of the Damned off the pedal, which it makes 1 mana. I do lose 1 life and go to 9. Okay. I mean, you need to cycle. I have double teaching, so theoretically I could go get the last songs and the last Reaping the Graves. That's the choice that I have to make right now. Songs would make 11 mana. And then minus 6 would be 5. I'd have 2 mana floating. That's just not worth it. I need to keep cycling. Street rates, that would put me to 7. Cycle. Cycle. Okay, go to 7. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Alright, it's the end of the road. I think I just have to make that play now. This is the last Songs of the Damned. So the only way we can songs now is via the repository scab. Alright, so we have 1 Dark Ritual, 1 Cabal Ritual left, and then the ploy. Not looking too hot for the home team. I really shouldn't return Street Wraiths. Well, I guess it's like kind of free to return 1. I don't know. So I targeted the Vantasaur. I'll return 1. I have 2 Street Wraith in the top of my deck. I don't know. I guess there's no songs left, so that doesn't matter. So let's return 1 just in case. I don't need to cycle it immediately. Okay. Cycle. I don't have any songs left in my deck. I can just return everything. That's right. So I think we're like rooting to hit ploy here. This is a wild game. Cycle. Alright, I like the Cabal Rat. I could play the healer, but I think it reduces my odds of winning. Because it means that I'm likely not... If I hit the scab, it takes away that avenue of winning. Alright, so I hit the scab. That was good. Cycle. Okay, how much mana does that make? 8? Okay, 6 minutes on clock. I think I can do this. Sacrifice, return these songs. So I can go to 4 if I cycle Street Wraith. But if I do that, they can kill me in response with their artifact land, so I shouldn't cycle Street Wraith here. Alright, I'm gonna add a white. I'm gonna play a healer. Cycle a dino. Actually, I don't think I can win this turn. So if that's the case, I should probably just try to gain a bunch of life, right? Let's cycle this. If they want to try to kill me in response, I can respond again. I want to make sure that I'm auto-yielded to the Disciple, because I would die that way. Okay. Let's play a Stinger. I'm dead to Fling next turn. Cycle. Come on, try to kill me in response, please. I also have 1 more Hydroblast in the deck that I could draw to kill the Atog. This has been an incredible match. Yeah, I guess that's the card I'm playing to here, is drawing the Pyroblast for the Atog. Or Hydroblast, I mean. Okay, we're at 5 minutes. Cast Petal. Cycle. Okay, come on, Hydro. Cycle. Come on, deck. Give me that Hydro Blast, please. Draw. Damn. I've played my land, I just have to pass the turn. Like I mentioned, I'm dead to Fling. If I get to untap, I'm going to upkeep Cycle Ash Barrens. Okay, so they have a Terrarian. Auto yield. I'm gonna auto yield to this again. I'm at a high enough life total where they can't sack enough artifacts to actually kill me. So it's Fling or bust, I think. Okay. Maybe I should turn it off, so I guess it's too late now. So if the last card's Gav Blast, I guess I'm dead to Gav Blast. I should turn off the auto yields. I'm gonna block with the Blood Celebrant. I don't need the Celebrant anymore. Okay, go to blockers, block with Blood Celebrant. Okay. Oh, they have it. I think I'm dead. So I go to 5. Yeah, they got me here. I needed the Hydro Blast. Pretty sure I'm dead, but I'm gonna make sure. Hit the land. Yep, I am exactly dead. Oh, that sucks. Oh no, they have one extra. I forgot about the Disciple trigger from the pedal. Wow. Good match, though. That's a bummer. Alright, well, we are now 1-1. Hard to be upset about that. That really was a sweet match. Just gotta try to win out. Alright, looking to bounce back from that tough loss. We're on the draw. I'm gonna keep this. We have 2 cyclers off the island. They had our black source to cycle the horror. I think that this should be fine. Draw. Teachings. Okay, pass the turn. Using Evolving Wilds to get planes. What are we facing? Maybe familiars? It is in fact familiars. Okay, cycle the architects. We had our black source. Good deal. Draw. Play it. Cycle the street. See if I can hit another one cycler. And I did. How lucky. Cycle. Okay. What is this? Seagate Oracle. Okay. Another Evolving Wilds. A little bit tight on mana here. Cycle the horror. Well, I did hit songs, but I can't really use it that effectively. I think I'm going to discard teachings here. Or should I discard Scab? The Scab would make more mana off the songs next turn. Yeah, I think that's what the play is. I need to get lucky and have my opponent tap out again. Familiars typically plays like 3 Prohibit in the main deck, and that's what I believe we have to worry about. Checking right now, or at least I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure it's just 3 copies. Maybe they have Counterspell too, and I'm blanking on that. I think they do have Counterspell. 3 Prohibit. 1 Counterspell. If they're on the list that not good one with, there's 1 Counterspell, 2 Prohibit. Okay. Snap. So they get to return 2 lands, and now they get to play the Seagate for 1 mana. Okay. Or 0 mana, apparently. Maybe they had 1 blue floating and I missed that. They did, because they tapped both islands. That's what happened. Alright, and I have a window here. So... how do I want to do this? Tough call. Alright, so I'm gonna cast the songs and then cycle horror. That gives me threshold. Another reaping. Cycle the Vantasaur. Other teachings. Jeez. Hand's a little bit clogged. Let's cast teachings for songs. Make 7 mana. Cast this reaping, return our creatures. Not a lot of mana to work with here. I could see myself fizzling if I don't like draw really well. Okay. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle. Cycle. Ballret was good. Cycle. Don't really need that. Songs would make 8, so it's not really worth casting the teachings with flashback. Alright, let's cycle this. Cycle. Dark Ritual. And now songs would make 9, so I'd make 2 mana, and I'd only have 1 songs left in my deck. I don't love that. I'm not going to make that line, or take that line. Let's cycle the Barrenmore. Ah, the last reaping. So I can still take this line. It just makes 1 less mana now. I think I'm just going to try to get lucky instead. Alright. Street Wraith, and then the others. Okay, we have 4 mana. It's not a lot of mana to hit here. Yes! Hell yeah. Okay. Petal's good for Scab. I like that cycle. The Ballret is welcome. I think we got this as long as I don't mess up. Which is a big if, don't get me wrong. Cycle the Vantasaur, and now we'll cast the songs, making 12 mana. Cycle Healer. Blood Celebrant's beautiful. Love that. Dark Ritual. Cycle the Horror. Okay, cycle Vantasaur. Petal, and Healer. 10 mana floating. Play Petal. Play Petal. Have I played a land? I have indeed played a land. Play the Blood Celebrant. Let's add a blue. Play the Scab. Exploit it. The one nice thing about facing familiars is they are unable to kill the Scab, so great. Let's return that first songs that only made 5 mana. That now has come back to make 14. What a Cinderella story. Let's gain some life off Ploy. Discard an Ash Barrens. Cycle Healer. We have 1 songs left in the deck. I'm probably going to go get that with the teachings. Cycle. Cycle. Do it again. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Dark Ritual. Let's add a blue. Cast teachings. Okay. 18 mana. And now all of our dead friends are coming home once again. I should really stop calling them my dead friends. Like, it's a little bit weird, but I also like it. Alright, so returning everyone from the graveyard back to our hand. And then we're going to close out the game. 23 mana floating, 14 cards in deck. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright. So the one good thing about the Familiars deck is it absolutely crushes Affinity. So that is the reason to play it. I also like my Affinity matchup despite losing round number 2. Like, that was a pretty sweet round. It was really close. We just didn't happen to get it. By I mean I don't hate facing Affinity, where I would rather not face the Fairy stacks. So that's what I mean by that. It's not that I think that I'm like ultra favored versus Affinity. It's just like I'd rather not face fairies. Both decks could honestly be watered down a little bit, in my opinion. Alright, cycle. Cycle. Every day we're blasting. Cycle. Okay, they're at 5. Cycle another architect. And let's cycle a healer. Okay, so that's game number 1 over familiars. And the list that won did not have any graveyard hate in, so I don't feel pressured to board in the shredded sales. I do like these Pyroblasts, though, so those are going to come. And let's put that there. You probably board out a couple copies of Lotus Petal. And then 3 cards. Let's board out the Architects. I could board out 1 Teachings. No, I think that this is going to be it. Wonder if I board out Barrymore instead and keep Triple Petal. I think I like that. The reason why I decided to board out of Barrymore is our opponent is a combo deck. So tap lanes aren't great anyway. It's fine. Plus, like, we get the speed from Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal fixes for our blue cards as well as our Pyroblast that we just boarded in. I decided to keep both Teachings. That was another card I thought about boarding out there, just so that way I'm threat dense. Okay, and we've opened up a hand that does things I will keep. Opponent has gone to 5 cards. Okay. Evolving Wilds pass. Hitting Island. Draw. Okay, pass the turn. We're at 17 minutes. We have a decent amount of time left. I'm not going to Pyroblast a Preordain here. Okay, so it's Chancery. You got it. Sure. So we know that they have Island in hand. Cycle Vantasaur. Go to our turn. Draw. Decent. I'm just going to cycle here. Pass. I could have kept up the Pyroblast, but I don't want it to be like a towel. Plus, I'm a little bit worried about running out of clock. Secretly. Maybe I shouldn't be with 17 minutes, but I am. I'm not going to counter up a couple cantrips anyway. Like, this is meant for countering counter spells on other songs. Okay, so they have 1 white. They've already played a land. I think they're probably just passing after this Preordain, if I had to guess. Okay. Songs of the Damned. Cycle. And let's cycle the Stinger. And Street Wraith. Against better judgment, I'm going to play the Barrymore here. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent has 4 mana now. Sunscape, you got it. Draw. I like that. I think it's party time. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Let's cycle again. Yes. Lotus Petal. Oh, it's Dark Ritual. I'm sorry, Dark Ritual. Songs of the Damned. I'm going to Pyroblast that. Songs. And it resolved! Makes 7. So I don't need to burn this songs right here. I can wait. And let's cast it. Street Wraith and then the others. Okay. Cycle the Street Wraith. Dab is pretty good here. Cycle. Although they can snap it to cancel the ability. I just realized that. Last game I talked about how they don't have real interaction. Not exactly true. Cycle. These Pyroblasts are pretty good, I won't lie. Cycle. Let's cast these songs. I want to be able... So you could have waited and then disrespected your opponent a little bit and just like cast it without Pyroblast backup, but in my opinion, that's playing a little bit recklessly, and I'm not looking to do that. Play the Celebrant. Cycle. Let's go to 14 cycle. Another songs. How lucky. Let's add a blue. Play the Scab. Exploit. And return Songs of the Damned. Okay, cast songs. Add a blue. Cast teachings. And we're going to go get Reaping the Graves. I think we're just going to win now. Let's flash this back. Get the last songs. And time to party. Okay. Returning all of our very much alive and not dead friends to our hand. Sweet. Okay. And now we will play a Stinger. And let's start cycling. 30 cards left. Auto yield. Cycle. Cycle some street rates, why not? Cycle. We have 4 dinos, we might as well do this next so I can auto yield to the ability. Alright. Cabal Ritual. Lotus Petal. Cycle of Vantasaur. These cycling dinos. I mention this all the time, but I cannot wait for like the master sets, just because like cycling is like an evergreen ability where it just comes back all the time. So I'm like secretly hoping that they downshift some other cycling creatures that I would like Flourishing Fox or Vile Manifestation. Those are cards that I'm like very interested in playing. Vile Manifestation is like pretty much just a better what is it called? Can't think of it now. I made a video about how much it stinks. It's a 3-mana 2/3 that gets +2/+0 whenever you cycle a card. Grizzly Survivor. There we go. I remembered. Okay, let's add a blue here. Scab again. And we're going to sacrifice it and return to songs. But yeah, Vile Manifestation would be sweet. The only downside of that card, in my opinion, is that it costs 2 mana to cycle. Okay. Click, 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 click. Returning all of our stuff to our hand. Plenty of time on the clock. I don't know why I was so nervous. Get out of here, familiars. Okay. Cycle again. We're at 6 life. Can't be a little... We shouldn't cycle these 3 rates being overzealous. Just not a good line. So instead, we'll cycle creatures that don't make us lose 2 life. Alright, now it's Dino time. Cycle! Alright. It's been a while since I feel like I got the job done with 1 Stinger. I usually end up playing more. But here, solo Stinger for the win. We are 2-1. 2-1. Match number 4 coming right up. 4th match, we're on the draw, and I think I'm going to keep this. It's a little bit sketchy, but I think ultimately it's fine. What are you playing? Bogles? Chooses white. It is Bogles. Okay. I think I'm going to start just by thinning my deck a little bit. We don't have a whole lot of cyclers in this hand, which I'm a little bit concerned with. I was hoping for a matchup that might have been a little bit slower here. And there's the Ledge Walker. Okay. Cartouche, okay. Upkeep, I'm going to go get another Swamp out of the deck. Building towards Threshold while thinning our deck for better hits. Draw. Yikes. Alright. Not looking good for the home team at the moment. Alright, so we really need to hit a chain of creatures next turn with our draws. Abundant Growth, floating 1. 2 mana. Rancor. Temple. 1 card, 1 mana floating, I meant to say. So we're taking 5. That was a bummer. I wonder if I should just play out Scab as a blocker. I think that's actually what I'm going to do here. Soak up a little bit of damage. Nope. Okay, pass the turn. Who needs creatures anyway, right? Like, definitely not me. I don't need those creatures. 2 mana. Abundant Growth. Into what? They have 3 cards in hand. Another Rancor. Ledgewalker. Okay. Okay, well, I guess I can't block that. I didn't realize that. Draw. So that was a bad play. Whoops. Cycle. They have 1 card in hand. There's a chance I'm not dead here. Cycle. I'm just gonna pass. Hope that I'm not dead. Like, they didn't kill me last turn when they could have. So I'm just like banking on the fact that I'm not gonna die here. I'm gonna take 7 going to 2. Alright, so that shuts off Street Wraith. I have this damn Scab in play. Ugh, come on. I mean, I just have to go. Songs. I have Threshold, I can play this now. And Reaping returns all 3 creatures we have. Yeah. Okay, and I'm just going to return them all. Because if there's a chance I can play the healer, I'm going to. I'd have to cycle into a pedal or something, but there we go. Play it. Cycle. Need to hit deploy, I think, if I'm going to live. So I can go to 1 and cycle the Street Wraith. Alright, cycle the Horror. At 3. Play songs, cycle the Healer. I'm at 4 now. Come on. Cycle. Brings me up to 5. Alright. This is 10 mana. So I have 3 mana floating post Reaping. Operating on fumes here. I only have 1 songs left too. So something I could do is not cycle the Street Wraith. And then that would put me above the 7 that our opponent currently has. But any enchantment makes me dead. So I don't know if I love that line. I'm just going to cycle. I don't know if I've played a land yet this turn. Cycle. Cycle. Right, I think I ran out. I'm just going to return everything at this point. Okay, so I can go up to 8. And cycling here theoretically gives me a shot at hitting songs still. I'm at 7. Gain the life, draw. Alright, so this would put me to Dark Rit. Bummer. Okay, if they miss again, I theoretically stand a shot. Wonder if I should attack with the scab. I think I'm just gonna hold it back. Any enchantment kills me. Well, any pump spell kills me, I should say. Are they really just putting me to 1 again? Okay. I'm at 1. I've used 3 copies of songs. Ram through kills me. Okay. That's a bummer. So we get the frogs here. Take out Architect. And Baron Moore. Let's go. So Sport Frog has some pros and cons against a deck like Bogle's, where it's a pro that it counts towards songs and reaping the graves, much like Scab. But there is the con that Ram Through can kill the Spore Frog on the end step, and then they can kill me. And after winning game 1 with Ram Through, I'm pretty sure they're not going to board it out, even though they probably should. So we have that to worry about. But on the bright side, Spore Frog does not get hit by Dispel. Okay, game 2, we're on the play against Bogles. This hand's kind of sketchy. I think I'm supposed to mulligan. Keep. Get rid of the Barons, I guess. I don't want to go to 5. Like, this hand doesn't have any cyclers, but I'm just going to lose. It's fine. Go get our forest. Alright, so they have the turn 1 Bogle. I'm in trouble. Yep. This is not looking good for the home team. A Utopia Sprawl. 2 mana here. Cartouche. And Rancor. Yikes. Taking 4 already. Alright, 16. Draw. I'm just going to main phase this ploy. Discard the Teachings. And pass. Okay. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. So they played the Grove. They still have 3 cards, 3 open mana. Alright, still 3 open mana. They chose red for Sprawl. That's interesting. Do they have the Flaring Pain in hand? I wonder if that's what it means. They chose red off both of these. They must have Flaring Pain, right? The only thing that I think it could mean. Cycle. Let's cycle here. Don't quite have Threshold yet. Let's cycle the healer. I'm gonna play the Petal and pass. If our opponent tries to kill us, I can respond with Ploy. But I'd rather not have to make that move. Right, they currently have 6 power. And Mask is an amazing draw here. If they had that last turn, they would have played it. I think I'm just dead. Alright, so I have to burn a songs. Ball Ritual. Ball Ritual. Cast Reaping the Graves for the 3. Yeah, this is just not gonna end well for me. We did not draw that well this game. Or well this match. It happens. Okay. So I can cycle healer. First card we've discarded this turn. Second card we've discarded this turn. Third card we've discarded this turn. So this would put me up to 14 at the moment. 15 with the... Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. I've discarded 3. I would discard 1 deploy, which would be... I would go to 1. I'm going to cycle the Drannith. 4th card. 5th card. 6th card. 7th card. Doesn't do me a whole lot of good here. Let's Dark Ritual. Cycle the Baron more. How many is that? I don't actually know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I go to 12 plus 2, so I gain 10, which is still exactly lethal. So I could play songs here. That would be 9 mana. I think I'm just dead. I'm gaining 10, and they're dealing 14, which I believe is exact lethal. And if I cast songs, I go up to 9, flashback the teachings, and that doesn't do anything. So I just have to hope that I'm wrong on my count, I guess. Cast the ploy. Discard a frog. Or blood celebrant. Nope, I was correct. It's exactly lethal. Okay, they got me. So we are now 2-2. Bummer. It happens sometimes. 3 rounds left to go. Alright, match number 5. We're on the draw. I know this hand doesn't have any cycling creatures, but we do have double Baronmore. I'm going to try this. Affinity. Alright. Draw. Pass the turn. Seat into Prism. I'm going to slide that down. Alright, cycle my horror. Hit F6. And pass the turn. Draw. Alright. Cycle... I guess I have the Blood Celebrant for blue mana, so let's go get a Swamp out of the deck. And I'm just lazily going to cycle the Baronmore here. Pass the turn. Thought cast from our opponent. Okay. Into Chromatic Star. Disciple. Sure. Draw. That's a dino. Cycle. And cycle the horror. I think I'm supposed to just play the Baronmore here. Pass the turn. We have 3 creatures in the graveyard with a 4th in hand. Deadly Dispute, you got it. Ancestral Recall, as I like to call it. Okay. And another Prism. They do have 1 treasure up here. Draw. Let's cycle the Vantasaur. Wraith, that was a good one. And I like the Horror of the Broken Lands. Reaping, right on time. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual. I don't actually know what our storm count is, but I'm just going to play the Reaping here. Or, not storm count, how many creatures we have in graveyard, I should have said. Okay. Return all of our friends. And if they try to kill the celebrant in response, I can just make mana. They're targeting. Targeting the celebrant? Yep, okay. Let's make blue mana, blue mana. That should be good. Okay. I'm actually fine with that exchange, if I'm being honest. Because if I draw into the repository scab, my scab won't get murdered. I think I'm going to cycle the Baron more here. Cycle. So I have 4 coming back. I think I'm going to play the teachings, go get a songs, keeping the blue up. Cast songs. Cycle the horror. Healer. 3 Wraith. Cycle the Vantasaur. Okay, running a little bit out right here. Alright, so that's going to give me enough to flashback teachings for reaping, so that's good. And then cycle horror again. Play our island for turn. Cycle the healer. Petal. Songs. Cast this teachings. Go get another Reaping the Graves. We have 2 songs, 2 reaping left in the deck after this one. And our opponent is conceded. Woot woot! Game number 1 over Affinity. Let's bring the Hydros back and cut to Architect. LFG. Game number 2 on the draw against Affinity. Sure. Seems fine. Keep. Hit that 6 key again. Disciple. You got it. Draw. Swamp, go. I think I'm probably going to cycle the Ash Barrens on the end step. Go get the island. Okay, so no Atog this turn. That's a good sign. Okay, take 1 from the Disciple. And they're just passing. Let's go get that island like I mentioned. Draw. I know that I showed my opponent the island. It's fine. I want to be able to cycle both of these. Or if I cycle into like a Horror of the Broken Lands, I want to be able to cycle that. So that's why I chose to do this. They have a blue source now, so they can play like a Thoughtcast. Blood Fountain. Okay. Cards are a very good addition to Affinity. And they just increased their clock a little bit. Let's cycle the healer. I'm going to cycle the Baron more. Rather Reaping the Graves. So this can get the last swamp out of the deck. Do that. Cycle. And cycle. Pass the turn. Next turn's probably our go turn. Thoughtcast, okay. One has 5 cards in hand. Duress. I think the pick here is actually Cabal Ritual. Let's see if our opponent agrees. I have a feeling that they might take the Reaping. What you gonna pick? They chose Reaping, okay. And a Chrome Star. So we're going to take 5 here, going to 13. Yeah, I really do believe that the pick was the Cabal Ritual, but not going to argue it. Good draw. Okay, so let's start off on playing our land. Cycle the Vantasaur. Love you, Street Wraith. Go to 11. I love you too. And I love you. This is so great. All my dead friends showing up. Oh, I said it again. Alright, so I wonder if I'm supposed to ploy here, and I think the answer is yes, and I can discard the scab and then pick it back up. Yeah, we don't have any songs yet, so I think that's fine. It's actually negative mana with Cabal Ritual. So let's play our Petal, cycle the Stinger, hopefully get a songs. Cycle. Another Reaping. Okay. Target the Scab, and then we're going to return all the street rates first. 1, 2, 3, and then the other creatures. Okay, so we're going to go down to 6 life and cycle these. There's a songs. Hell yeah. Cycle. You like the Blood Celebrant. Let's cycle this. Let's cycle here. And then cast the Songs of the Damned. I'll lose 1 life to the Disciple. Our opponent has no way of sacrificing anything, so it's not the end of the world. We'll get back Repository Scab. Play the Blood Celebrant. Go to 4 life. Play Scab. Or Scab. Sacrifice it. Get back the songs. Okay, cycle Healer. Dark Ritual. Let's cycle the Barrenmore. Cycle Healer. Cycle the Horror of the Broken Lands. I don't think I want to cast you. I guess I have the Ploy. Yeah, why not? Let's go to 2. Cabal Ritual. Add a blue going to 1 whole life. And Ploy. Discard Teachings. Discard the Healer. Dark Ritual. Songs. I haven't used any other songs yet, so we can flashback this Teachings. Go get another one. We've gone pretty deep into our deck off 1 songs thanks to that Repository Scab. Okay, and now we're just going to return everyone and win the game. Okay. No cycle tricks here because we just have it as long as we return everything and then cycle. Okay, 28 mana floating. Returning all of our creatures. Okay. Add red. Play the Stinger. Okay. Add another red. Cast another Stinger. And another. The hottest ploy, so powerful. Alright, let's just start cycling to win. Auto yield to the ability. And that. Okay. Each cycle at this point is dealing 3 damage. For being a healer, it sure is painful, am I right? Alright, cycle the horror. And again. Hello, songs. I don't need you, but I'll always accept you. Cycle. Auto yield. And just like that, we are 3-2. Not the best record, but I will certainly take 2-1 versus the best deck in the format. A deck so good people think that cards out of it should be banned. Cyclostorm is powerful. Unfortunately, we did have a we had a nail biter that we lost. We also sort of had a bad draw in the entire match versus Bogle. So I'm just going to keep my chin up. We have 2 rounds left to go. I'm just going to focus on winning those. So stick around. I hope you enjoyed the last 2. All right, round 6, we're on the draw. We're going to keep this and see what our opponent's playing. I remember them as a Mogwarts player, but that's been a little while, and Mogwarts isn't super popular anymore, which is why we're not playing the Fairy Macabres in the board. So let's see what our opponent's on today. And it looks like Affinity. All right, 4th Affinity matchup of the day. Cycle the Horror. Pass the turn. Chrome Star, and a bridge. Sure. 19, draw. Cycle Horror. Cycle Horror. Looking good so far. 3 mana, Mirror Enforcer. Okay. We're going to 18. Upkeep. I want to cycle this for an island. The reason why is if in case we draw something like the Scab or something else, it's just beneficial. It also has a card into our graveyard for Threshold, and I do value that. Let's cycle this Vantasaur. We could, in theory, try to jam here, but I feel like that's pretty risky. Although they are tapped out. That was good. I'm feeling like I'm jamming. Alright, let's do it, I guess. Lose one. Cast Songs of the Damned and then cycle. Okay. Cycle this Barrenmore. Okay, so I don't really want to waste the mana on this. I could, I just don't want to. Like, I don't think pulling the Swamp out of the deck is that important. Alright. Reaping the Graves is on the stack, and now we return some creatures. Okay. We don't have enough to return all of them, I believe. I think we're leaving one. I could be wrong. Cycle. Another Reaping. Cycle. Love the Dark Ritual draw. Cycle. Ballrit is always welcome. Okay, let's keep it going. Cycle. And again. Things are going well right now. Cycle. Puts us to 15. 13. And let's return the Architect. Cycle. Mana is still a choke point, so I don't love the idea of cycling these Ash Barrens. Let's return everything again. And this time we're targeting the Street Wraiths first, because they will be the first things we cycle. And this time we get to return everything, I believe. Maybe I did last time, and I just wasn't paying enough attention. Alright, so we're going to go to 11, and then 9. Dark Ritual is good. Alright, so the Scab's okay if we can empty our creatures again. We just basically need it to have enough creatures to be worth getting back the songs. Alright, cycle the Vantasaur. Okay, so that gives me another cycle. Perfect. Okay. I think we got this one. The old turn 3. Did I miss a Street Wraith in there? I must have. Cycle this. Beautiful. I'm going to keep the Lotus Petals around. I think the colored mana is worth more right now. And let's pull that Swamp out of the deck. Okay. Cycle. Cycle. And again. 20 cards left in deck. So if I cycle this, I go to 5, but I have this ploy. I think I'm just going to return this. Cycle. Play the Petal. Cycle the Horror. Cycle Architects. Down to 15 cards in deck. I guess there's no real punish for me cycling this. Alright, cast the songs. And our opponent's had enough. Alright, we've won game number 1. So now we're bringing the Hydroblast back in and getting rid of 2 copies of Architect of Will. Or Architects of Will, plural. This deck's so sweet. We just need to get one of our post-board games now. The old turn 3. This hand is good. Keep. Hit that 6 key once again. Draw. Alright, I'm going to try to hit an untap land. Cycle the Wraiths. I did not. Play the Baron more. Yes. Alright, 2 black sources into Atog. You got it. Draw. Cycle. Play Petal Pass. If our opponent gets a little fishy here, we can blow them out with the Pyro. Or the Hydro, I mean. Okay. I think they're going to try to kill me here. They are. They're going to try to kill me here. They wanted a turn 3 win too. Okay, so the Hydroblast is going to end up looking pretty good here. Okay. We're going to end up being at 4 though. So they're just going to pass combat. That I can't use the... Yeah, alright. So I have to do this now. Hydroblast. Alright. Draw. I think we just cycle and pass here. No need to like try to burn a songs. And I don't want to cycle the Street Wraith. Frog. Okay, so we go to 4 now. Draw. Cycle Wraith. My plan here is that we just need to find the island this turn to cast Ploy. Alright, cast songs. Lotus Petal would kill me with the Disciples, so we can't actually use those. Speaking of the devil. Actually, I can respond to the Disciple triggers. That's not true. Yeah, that's actually a reasonable draw. Let's turn off our auto yields. Cycle. Okay, cycle the Stinger. Cycle Healer. Play our Swamp. Cycle Healer again. Play another Petal. Cast the songs. And now there's triggers that happen here, and I'm allowed to respond to the triggers. Cast Ploy. And discard the Baron more. So I go up to 9. And then this will put me to 5. Okay. I'm going to let that happen. Now we can do the Scob. Get back songs. Sacrifice this. Songs of the Damned. Cast it. And Reaping the Graves. Get back the Scob. I don't know if I'm supposed to return the Street Wraiths or not. Because it's going to shut off Lotus Petal, and that's my fear. I don't think I'm going to. Cycle. Alright. That's going to allow me to ploy. Yeah, I think we got him. Cycle. This is a pretty sweet one. Really saw the power of the Hydroblast plus the hottest ploy. Keep it going. Blood Celebrant. Okay. Songs of the Damned! Okay, just keep cycling. Cycle the Horror. Dark Ritual. And now let's respond to the Scab and do that. Probably should have cycled this first, because if I had a creature here, well, I didn't. And then return that. Now I can play the Celebrant, go to 4, and jumpstart the Ploy. Discard the Swamp. And here I can discard the petal because it makes me lose 2 life. Okay. Add a blue. Play the Scob, get back songs. Sacrifice. Trigger. And our opponent concedes. 3-1 on the day versus Affinity. Like I said earlier today, I do like my matchup against this deck. I've sort of figured it out. Does take some practice, but we lost that one nail biter, and now we're just trying to win the next one to finish 5-2. Coming into the round, I actually dropped 5 places from the previous round. I might be lucky to top 32 at 5-2. This event was pretty close to the cutoff for 8 rounds, but instead it's 7. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just going to try to play tight, and, I've accepted where I'm at in the standings. We just want to, 5-2 is a good record. Let's hit it. I will see you in the final match. The final match of the Pauper Showcase. We're on the draw, and I've opened up a hand here that's, well, questionable. You can look at this as essentially a mulligan to 6 with double songs, and I think that's fine. I'm going to try this out and just plan on using... Oh no, I'm a dummy. I didn't mean... My bad. For some reason, I looked at the imposing Vantasaur, and in my head, I saw an Ash Barrens. That's awkward. Well, that just made up for it. Okay. This could just be Affinity with a swamp in it. I'm not sure. But we're going to go get a swamp with our Ash Barrens. The deck just bailed me out a little bit. For some reason, I looked at the Vantasaur and I really did think it was an Ash Barrens. Cycle. And then pass the turn. That was embarrassing. Yeah, this is Affinity. And there's turn 2 Atog. Jeez. Okay. Pretty good start. This is our 5th time in this event facing Affinity / Atog. Draw. Okay, so I think we're just going to double cycle this turn. Cycle. And then we're going to have to try to force a turn 3 next turn. Okay. Pass. We're going to have to find a Reaping the Graves. 3rd untapped land. So they had a pretty quick start here. Disciple. Disciple. Am I dead? I think I'm dead. Turn 3 on the play. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. I'm going to make them go through it, but I'm pretty sure I'm dead. No? 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. I'm not dead. But Lotus Petal... Actually, Lotus Petal doesn't... I should just shut up and focus on trying to win. Cycle. Alright, looks like we're going for it. And our opponent deals 8 plus maybe a Gav Blast, so 12. Cycle. That can go get our blue source for this ploy. Cycle. Let's cycle the Ash Barrens. Go get our island. Play it. Cycle Street Wraith. It's gonna bring me to 15. I want to make sure that I'm not dying here to anything. So that's 8. And then Gav Blast would be 12. Okay, so I can cycle. Alright. Another Reaping. Songs. And I'm going to play Ploy here. Discard the Teachings. Cycle. Turn 3 is pretty good. Alright, let's cycle the Barrenmore. Cycle Architects. We only have a Storm of 4. It's actually kind of low. I mean, it will be 4 when I cast the songs. It's kind of low. Cast this. So what I could do is I could flashback Teachings here, 4 songs just to increase Storm, and I think that's probably worth it. It also makes like a couple mana, but that's not really the point. Alright. Now we can Reaping for 7. Excuse me. And I will return the Street Wraiths here. 1 Wraith. 2 Wraith. Stinger, Stinger. Stinger. Stinger, why not? There was no Drannith healers in there, or else I honestly would have returned a healer. Let's cycle these. Okay, 17 life. Cycle Architects. Dark Ritual's good. Come on, Dak, be good to me. Cycle. Well, Ritual's a good one. Thank you. Cycle. Don't need that Ash Barrens. Cycle the Stinger. Cycle Healer. Okay, cycle Stinger. Cycle Healer. Running a little bit out of mana here. Cycle. Cycle. So this brings me to 15. Cycle. Dark Ritual. And we can return the Architects. Cycle that. Alright, 8 mana floating. Cycle. Teachings. Can't cast Teachings. I think I'm just going to cycle Barrymore here, because if I had a Petal, the Teachings opens up. Cycle Barrymore. Oh, that's a bummer. We're in a tough spot here. Okay, we're only going to have so many draws. I can return 1 copy of Street Wraith early, but any additional copies would kill me. If they have Gav Blast, that is. Also, Petal is a risk. I don't know what to do here. 19 minutes on clock. Alright, I think I'm going to return the Wraiths. Because at some point I just have to accept if they have Gav Blast, I'm dead. And I don't want to just, like, miss out. Okay, returning all of our creatures. Cycle Street Wraith. Alright, so if I play the... Alright, so what I can do... I'm just trying to think this through. Technically, the Petal gives me songs, but I can also just, like, flashback the ploy. I'm just going to return everything, I think. Okay. Play the Petal. Turn off auto yields. And sacrifice the Petal. 2 Disciple triggers go in the stack. I'm going to jumpstart the ploy. Get rid of this Ash Barrens. What do we hit off that? 3 Wraith land. Alright, so we're gaining a bunch of life here. Alright, 38. Okay, they have 2 cards. Let's cycle a Dino, I suppose. Blood Celebrant. Alright, let's go to 36. Ball Ritual. Damn, wish I would have cycled that first. Cycle. Go to 32, cycle. Another one? Damn it. Alright, I just have to play Blood Celebrant and pass. Discard a bunch of creatures here. Hope that I live. Discard that. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Wedding Invitation. That's a double draw, right? Or target creature can't block this turn. Uh-oh. That was like the perfect card for them. Am I dead? I might be dead to that wedding invitation. 30. I'm just going to make them do it. I'm not going to bother sitting here and counting. Mirror Enforcer. That puts me to 28. One songs, two songs. Oh, I used all my songs. I wasn't actually drawing towards the songs. I didn't realize that. All 4 songs are in my graveyard up top. I was trying to cycle towards a card that wasn't actually in my deck. Good to know. They were letting me block. Okay. We get to try again. I actually like that for Storm. That was pretty good. Ball Ritual. Ball Ritual. Cycle Stinger. Play Scab. Or Scob. Whatever you would like to call it. I would like to sacrifice it. I need to figure out how many Reaping the Graves are left. We know all 4 songs are gone. 1 Graves. 2 Graves. 2 Graves left in deck. Let's get back to Songs of the Damned. Alright, that's going to make 18 mana. Cycle. 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 Songs. Ballret. Cycle. There's a Graves. Alright, so let's target the Scob. And we also want to get back our Blood Celebrant, wherever that is. There it is. Stinger, 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 Stinger. Let's get a healer, why not? So all of our friends are going to come back. Okay. And let's play the Celebrant. Go to 25. Just to make sure, I'm going to cast this Teachings to make sure that I have another Reaping left. I think I do. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. I'd rather be cautious. Alright, we're at 24. Scob. Exploit. Sacrifice it. Get back songs. Alright. Cast it. Add a white. Play healer. I'm just trying to be cautious here that I don't lose too much life. Play Stinger. And I'm just going to return everything now. Okay. Bring everyone home. It's been a long game. Need to close this out quickly. Down to 14 minutes and it's only game 1. But we are going to win it, which is the important thing here. Alright, add a red. Play Stinger. Add a red. Stinger. 14 minutes. Let's see if I can close this out in 1 minute. Stinger. Cycle. Auto yield. Cycle. Alright. Just have to finish this. I can win in 40 seconds. 13 minutes. Okay, they conceded. Alright, we got game number 1 over Affinity. And they had a very, very good start. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let's bring the Hydroblast back in. Let's get rid of 2 Architects. It's the same plan we've had all event. I can't believe we faced Affinity 5 times in this event. That's crazy. 5 Affinity, 1 Blue-White Familiars, which won the last large event. I believe it was a PTQ. And yeah, it was the PTQ last week. Familiars won that, and then 1 Bogles. Sure. Alright, 13 minutes. Draw. Play the Barrymore pass. This hand's fine, we just need to hit lane 2. There's Atog. Draw. Cycle Dino. Cycle Wraith. There we go. Cycle Vantasaur. Wondering if I should play this out for Storm. I think the answer is, or if I should hold it for Storm. I don't think they're going to be able to turn 3 me here, so I'm not going to play it. If they can turn 3 me with this start, props to you. Ooh, Duress. That's actually kind of scary. Wonder what the pick is, if it's like Hydroblast or the Reaping. It chose Hydroblast, okay. This might be our go turn. I don't know yet. We'll reevaluate after we draw a few cards. Alright, taking 3, going to 15. Draw. Another Petal. Okay. 13. Reaping. Cycle the Architects. I think I gotta go for it. Black. Black. Cabal Ritual. Cycle Stinger. You need to hit like some mana here. That's some mana. Cycle. 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 And Stinger. Okay. Right now I'm considering cutting myself off a color so that way I get an extra mana out of this out of the songs. It might be worth it because I'm so pinched on mana right now that the color fixing might be worth less. Well, that hurt. We still have a land drop this turn. I can play an island later. All right, songs. Play Reaping the Graves. Return Stinger. I do get a couple Street Wraith cycles in here too. Wraith, Wraith, Dino, Dino. Okay, it's only 5, my bad. Cycle Wraith going to 11. Hydroblast. Cycle Wraith. Go to 7, cycle Wraith. Okay. Cycle Dino. Need to hit another songs. That's interesting. I can Teachings for Songs here. If I don't cycle anymore, I think that's probably the play. How many mana are in our graveyard? So it makes 7, so it's a line that makes only a couple mana. Jeez. Now I'm second guessing this play. Because I could just kill the Atog. I think I'm gonna cycle. Like, I don't think songs for plus 2 mana is worth it. Cycle. Alright, so now it's plus 3 mana. I'm gonna cycle. Cabal Ritual. Celebrant. Alright, cycle the Barrymore. Okay, we're just gonna kill the Atog. And pass the turn. Right. Wedding Invitation, sure. Another Frog. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. I go to 5. So if I use the Celebrant, I'm dead to their Gav Blast. Draw. There's the songs I wanted last turn. Alright, so I have to figure out how to beat the Gav Blast in their hand. I've used both Hydroblasts. Play the land, that's kind of a free play. Songs. Teachings. It's songs. Cast songs. I need the storm here, so I'm gonna flash back teachings and get the last songs of the damned. I know it's gonna be close, but I just need the mana and the storm. So I have a plan here. I'm going to return healer and then play healer and start cycling. We can return Stinger, Stinger, Dino, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. Okay. Only have 9 minutes, so I need to make this game count. Healer, Cycle Vantasaur. Actually, should I play Stingers? Let's go to 4 here. Cast Stinger. Play another Stinger. I'm really nervous right now. This play might not work out. Okay. Let's go to 1 and cycle Street Wraith. Auto yield. There's the Gap Blast. So I knew that was a possibility, and now we can cycle. I need to hit a cycler here. That was part of my plan. Which it's also why I started on Street Wraith. I didn't hit it. Damn it. Okay. I knew it was part of it. I could have I knew what was it could happen, but I chose to play a second Stinger instead of playing around Gap Blast perfectly because I only have 9 minutes and I don't have any songs left in my deck, so I'm pinched on mana. So that's why I chose to play it like that. It just didn't work out. And that's fine. We're just going to resubmit and try to get game number 3 against Affinity. Alright, 8 minutes on clock. Sure. Keep. Going to taking a mulligan to 6 here. Alright, we're going to just play Island Cycle. You know, I'm light on time. I'm just going to cycle my main phase. I was thinking about doing it on their end step, but I just... Every second counts when I'm down to 8 minutes. That first game took over 10 minutes. Star, sure. Draw. Teachings. Cycle the Dino. Ash Barrens. Let's cycle Street Wraith. I'm going to pass and then upkeep Cycle Ash Barrens for Swamp. They have a little bit of a slow start here, which is not what they had in the first 2 games. Cycle this Ash Barrens. They have 4 cards still. Get Swamp. Draw. Architects. And let's cycle the Horror. 4 creatures in graveyard. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. Alright. Untap land number 3. Mirror Enforcer. Mirror Enforcer. That's a fast clock. Okay, they have 2 cards. Is this my window? I'm not sure. Draw. That was a good one. Cycle. Also a good one. Alright, let's cast Dark Ritual. Cycle Architects. Blood Celebrant. Okay. Petal. Petal. How many creatures are in our graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4. I lost count. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I'm going to get back or teachings for songs here. I feel like it's a waste of mana. So instead, I'm just going to Reaping. Wraith, Wraith, Horror of the Broken Lands, Dino. Okay, we're getting 5 back. Cycle. I can return the other Wraith. Cycle. That was good. Cast Cabal Ritual. Cycle. 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 Alright, I'm gonna cast Teachings now. Songs makes 10 mana. Cast it. Okay, cycle. Yes. Return. Cycle. Okay, then cycle that. Okay, so I have 7 mana. Songs makes how much? 10. So if I use another songs here, this reaping's essentially free. Alright, I'm going to do it. I think I need every little bit of mana I can get right now. I still have 2 songs left in the deck. Excuse me. And I'm gonna cycle the Baron more. See if I can hit something good. Hell yeah. Okay. Architect. And I wonder if I just bring everyone back now. Because I have the... I can start cycling with Stinger. And that's everyone. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just return everyone right here. Start cycling with Stinger, just try to win the game. 5 minutes on clock. Celebrant. Add a red. Play Stinger. Alright, cycle Horror. 12 mana floating. Okay. Another Street Wraith. Cycle Dino. Auto Yield. Cycle Horror, the Broken Lands. Dark Ritual's good. Cycle Horror. Like the Petal Draw, that's good too. Cycle Architect. Really want to find another Stinger here. Speaking of the devil. Okay, let's burn the Petal here. The reason why I'm burning Petal is I'm at 9, which means that these Street Wraith cycles, I can go as low as 1 if I need to. Okay. I think I got it from here. Go to 3. And there's the last one. Okay, so we just need to finish cycling and we've got it. Cabal Ritual. Cycle. Okay. Cycle Healer. Ritual. Cycle Healer. And a dinosaur to finish off our event. Cycle. And that is the match. So 5-2 on the day. We faced Affinity 5 times and went 4-1, with the one loss being a Nailbiter. This deck, pretty good against Affinity. I don't think Affinity's going to be legal very long, but hopefully you enjoyed this this battle box against strictly Affinity. Maybe that's not the right word, or this matchup guide against Affinity. Yeah, but thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought. I probably made some mistakes along the way that I didn't realize. You're welcome to tell me. But once again, thank you. Make sure to become a member. Get your chance to pick up this Lotus Field Combo Pioneer Challenger deck. All you have to do is become a member to enter for your chance to win. Thanks again. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Keep storming your beautiful, and see ya! Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.